Kamala Harris is railing against President Trump and her own party, as some are speculating that she's gearing up for another White House bid.
Harris spoke at the DNC's winter meeting last week. Let's take a listen.
Both parties have failed to hold the public's trust. Government is viewed as fundamentally unable to meet the needs of its people. People feel that the very institutions that were designed to support them have failed them. People are done with the status quo, and they're ready to break things to force change.
She added that she believes President Trump is a symptom of a bigger problem and urged Democrats to have a clear vision for what comes after the midterms and ultimately what comes after Trump. Now, those remarks come after the former VP added several more stops to her 107 days book tour that now includes stops in the critical primary state of South Carolina and several cities with large populations of Black voters like Detroit, Memphis, and Montgomery.
That's prompted some in the party to speculate that she's soft launching a 2028 presidential campaign. Recent polls have consistently shown her name at the top or near the top, but according to Axios, party leaders and donors, they're concerned that she just can't win. Mehdi Hasan even responded to the idea of Harris running again with one word: insanity. And conservatives seem to be practically giddy at the idea of another Harris campaign. Eric Daherty writing on X, LMAO, do it! JD is rubbing his hands together as we speak. I think that is certainly the case. Kamala Harris, I see her she's in the probably top 3 most likely candidates for the Democratic Party, although she already starts out with such huge name recognition. I'm not sure. She's at a ceiling, I think. I can't see her getting more popular over time. So that's why I think someone like Gavin Newsom probably has a better shot at it. And then, look, she could win. It's close enough. You can't say it's impossible for her to win. Would she be the strongest candidate for the Democrats? I don't think so very much.
Why are you whispering? You know what? I have all these thoughts because on the one hand, I think with the Trump fatigue that we're already seeing, I don't want to hear that again, but he's not running, so I won't hear it. But with the Trump fatigue, we know that Biden, many argued, even when he was running against Trump, wasn't the strongest candidate in the world. But people were saying they're so fatigued with Trump that he was just a consistent, just like gonna just at least skate us through to get us to some type of normalcy. And remember, that was the conversation. And then he ran on, I'm not Trump. And that was a winning message for people that were so exhausted by it. The difference now is that Trump is not running again. And so you're going to have to go against somebody who is prepared and been preparing, like J.D. Vance, for the last 4 years for this battle. And we know that J.D. Vance, like Kamala was in her debate against Trump, but J.D. Vance is also a great debater. And so if he is the candidate, it's going to be, a tight conversation.
He's a really good debater.
Right. Both of them providing policy and ideas. Now, what Kamala has to explain for in the next few years is a lot of things. One is that she's at this DNC event and saying the party needs a direction after the midterms. If she is still in the party and actively pursuing a presidential run, well, certainly you could be one of the people that could point us in the direction. What's the plan? And then the second thing is that a lot of people, including yourself, I'm over it because I think that we should just let the man live, but want to have answers about how connected she was to Biden and want her to thoroughly explain why she didn't scream from the rooftops if democracy was at stake and you felt that so much was on the line that you just continued to say, well, it wasn't my place to overstep, and allowed Biden to run again. And so these are some things that you can't skirt around. And I know that she's gotten into it with the governor of Pennsylvania, Josh Shapiro, and so she's unafraid to kind of start speaking her piece and saying what's on her mind. But we need to hear more of this. And we also need a clear direction about why so much was spent. I believe $1.5 billion. That was the overall estimated total in 15 weeks for her campaign on like celebrities and trying to convince everybody. And these people that I love, Beyonce, Cardi B coming to the forefront, Oprah. But do you understand the tonality of what it takes to win an election and to garner the votes that were lost or stagnant in the last election? And that seems to be a clear disconnect when we watch what happened last time in the last election. So if that's not fully understood, and from what I gathered in the last 12 months, it doesn't seem to be understood because nothing's much changed. Just Trump has done stuff that people don't like. And so that provides opportunity for Democrats. But what is the clear direction that makes sure that people don't feel overlooked and like money is spent frivolously on things that do not pertain to them, particularly dealing with the economy and other imminent needs that they have.
But she's just convinced that she didn't get to do it on her terms. She was a last-minute substitution for Biden, 100 and however many, 7 days, whatever it was. Didn't have time to hire her own people and get her message out there. And if she could do it right, she'd do better. That's her thinking. I think that thinking is flawed for a number of reasons. One, her likelihood of prevailing was strongest the day she entered, and then decayed throughout, which suggests to me that given her even more time, she might have finished more poorly. The more time she had, the worse it got. She did not separate herself, to the point you were just making, from Joe Biden very well. She's still not doing that very well at all. The loyalty to him is nice, but it's not getting her. I mean, it's nice on a moral level, maybe. I don't. It's not winning her anybody. And I think she's going to continue to struggle with that. And she's up against some people who don't have the Biden baggage, including Gavin Newsom, Josh Shapiro, AOC, a number of other people.
But what's wrong? To me, there's nothing wrong with her throwing her name in the hat, right? We know that she tried to go run in 2020, and she didn't even make it as far as, let's say, somebody like Bernie Sanders made it in the process. And so we saw that that wasn't a win, and now she's upped her profile a ton more. So the fact that people say her name recognition should allow her to be on the ballot, there's some people who support her. But when you put these candidates who said they might be running, from AOC to Gavin Newsom to her to anyone else who said they might be in the race, that is kind of teetering the line, that's going to be exactly what everybody asked for. Let's primary these people up against each other, see who the best candidate is. We're not in a dire situation where somebody needs to be chosen with no democratic process. Let's do it. I think there's 4 fantastic options to debate one another. Let's see what happens, and let the best person win. That'll be great.
Get it started
and
going
then,
now.
Well,
they got to pick a direction.
Well, I think we'll see this come when everyone throws their name in the hat. We'll see this happen. And also, J.D. Vance is not just probably going to be sitting there and just be like, helm the candidate, ordain the candidate, right? People are going to challenge him. I think people are going to challenge him too. Marco Rubio's been waiting his turn patiently.
No, he said he wouldn't.
People say a lot of things. People say a lot of things.
Well, that's true. He's not going to do it. J.D. Vance is going to, if he wants it. It's not okay. It's not a certainty.
I was about to say, come on.
It is
3 years.
Extremely likely J.D. Vance basically is coronated as the candidate with minimal feuding, I think. That's my expectation.
Well, it's not like
I mean, the right is very much feuding right now.
And it's not an incumbent situation, and that's a big point. The right is having a lot of infighting about what the next direction is and how J.D. Vance implements or distances himself from Trump's policy for the next 3 years is really...
The right hasn't had a VP seeking... I mean, because Cheney did not have aspirations to run as president through the George Bush years. And then, before that, we have to go to George H.W. Bush, who was the vice president under Reagan and did run for president. So it's been a long time since we've been in this situation where we have a sitting vice president who is young and obviously interested in the top job and is beloved, basically, by everyone on the right and has the support of Trump. And
it'll just be nice to get to the
those are some strong headwinds.
Mark from now where we're voting, and we know we had multiple conversations with multiple new candidates that haven't run for president before, or, well, two old ones with Kamala if she's still in the race. But then we'll be able to see who everyone likes best. Policy is going to be the winner. You can't do it on charisma or anything else. We can't do it on, people talking nonsense about the economy. J.D. Vance doesn't have the charisma of President Trump. People like President Trump for some odd reason.
I don't know.
And so we'll see what happens.
You're right. He doesn't have whatever Trump
Right, he doesn't
has.
have that. So we're going to have to see what happens.
That means he doesn't have charisma. I'm not even sure what Trump has is charisma. Trump has some hypnotic power that is
J.D. Vance does not have it, but he is smart. And he can certainly debate. And so this is going to be nice to see.
Well, Kamala Harris can debate, too. She did fine in the debate, honestly.
That was really great. She did an amazing job.
Really great. But she was better at that, frankly, than she was at sitting through interviews. And since then, it's been the same. She's not gotten any better, in my view, of doing interviews. She doesn't say enough things.
She has plenty of years to say. And she's been saying a lot. She's been cursing. She's been having tons of interviews where she's acting just like your president right now, where cursing people out, saying no.
Well, he's not drinking.
Drinking? She's not drinking.
Did you say drinking?
No, cursing. Like I never heard Kamala curse before. She's recently been on this.
She was enjoying some wine.
Interview.
I think you said drinking.
I meant cursing. I'm a little under the weather.
I made that up. We have a lot more to talk about on Rising. Stay with us.